So just before I get into the main topic of the video, I just wanted to say this. Only 6 coaches in the top 4 divisions of English football are black. That's just 6.5% of all managers in those divisions. Very clearly, there is inequality being exercised in football. Football is the world's biggest #1 sport, making billions of money each year, especially here in the United Kingdom. In 2019, the EFL introduced the Rooney Rule to mandate that black, Asian, or minority ethnic candidates are interviewed when searching for a new first-team manager. But owners don't give a damn because they'll continue making their money regardless of who's in charge. It's the year 2024 and the Premier League have no rule to support the interests of minority managers. This is an issue of inequality that needs to be addressed, and the Premier League hasn't even tried. They've continued to ignore it. Would it require government intervention to bring attention to the level of inequality exercised by club owners? Something needs to be done. Let's get into the main topic of the video, Vincent Kompany. So, following the departure of Thomas Tuchel, Bayern Munich have decided to sign Kompany as first-team manager of the club, and I'm personally really excited about this appointment. I can proudly say that I was one of the few that believed in Kompany's potential at Burnley, but I never really imagined that he would attain the level of success that he did. He's a Premier League legend, spent 11 years in the league, an OG Manchester City legend, one of the best defenders that I've ever seen, 4 Premier Leagues, 2 FA Cups, but even more than his accomplishments, he's a leader among men. He's a captain. The summer he joined Burnley, the club had just been relegated after a sad ending to Sean Dyche's 9-year tenure as manager of the club. Most of the team was out of contract. Around 20 players departed the team. Nick Pope, Maxwell Cornet, Nathan Collins, just to name a few. New ownership. So given the intensity of the championship, his inexperience, and the scenario at the club, all odds were against Vincent Kompany. In his first year as manager, Burnley won the championship with 101 points, 10 points clear of second place Sheffield, and they only had 3 losses. Burnley received promotion to the Premier League. But it doesn't end there. That same season, he also led the team to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, knocked out by Man City. Can't blame them for that. And then in the EFL Cup, achieved 4th round, where they lost to Manchester United. So he did a tremendous job with them, with Burnley. How he managed to motivate a team filled with disappointed players, young players, I still can't comprehend. But his career as a manager didn't start at Burnley. He was a player coach for Anderlecht in his home country of Belgium, and he took over as manager the following season. Anderlecht as a club were dealing with financial mismanagement, fan protests, and a very young team with an average age of 22. So despite no silverware, the club did feel his impact, and the fact that he was willing to take on the challenge in his home country also helped him to get hands-on experience of managing difficulties within a team. With Burnley, Kompany brought excitement, fluidity, positionless play, relentless pressing, and a more technical style of football. This was a huge transformation away from how they played under Sean Dyche. It's very plain to see that his experience with Anderlecht and Burnley, that Kompany embraces working with young players and extracting the best out of them. And we saw how this played out with Nathan Tella, Morocco's Anas Zahouri, and Jordan Bayer. Because of the teams he has managed, Vincent Kompany has had to have a long-term view perspective. When it comes to signing players, he had to make sure they make an immediate impact, but also grow and improve within the squad. At Bayern, he wouldn't need to be so resourceful. He's a likable person. Alan Pace, the owner of Burnley, was literally in love with him. Obviously, Burnley were relegated this year, but everyone should know that fingers weren't pointed at Kompany. Don't forget also that Pep endorsed Kompany as the ideal candidate for the job at Bayern. Burnley as a club just lacked the resources and personnel on the pitch to stay in the Premier League and for Kompany to further showcase his capabilities. At Bayern, expectations will obviously be higher. Bayer Leverkusen are 2024 Bundesliga champions, and I'm sure that Bayern Munich will do everything in their power to prevent a repeat next season. As far as the Champions League, achieving the semi-final is a reasonable expectation. They still have Musiala, Harry Kane, Alphonso Davies, but I'm sure they'll love to win another Champions League title next season. 6 players are rumoured to be leaving the club: Kingsley Coman, Serge Gnabry, Leon Goretzka, Kimmich, Mazraoui, De Ligt, but I don't know how genuine these rumours are. Only 4 players are out of contract this summer, with Choupo-Moting, Dyer, Bouna Sarr, and Zaragoza. So not too many concerns there. To be completely honest, there's not much concern around Kompany's ability as a coach either. He's a good manager and he's also a leader. He's so intelligent, especially in football and in dealing with people. And despite how accomplished he is, he's still highly motivated. And a big plus is that at 30 years of age, he can relate to the players individually within the team. He has a long summer to study and understand the team before pre-season arrives. As far as potential signings concerned, many players are attracted to playing in Munich. I think also that Bayern don't really need to make too many additions either. The team is well-rounded, only 3 or 4 players out of contract. If not for some substitution errors by Tuchel in the Bundesliga and Champions League semi-final, I still had a well-rested Bayern Munich team going to the final against Dortmund. Because we all saw it, Real Madrid were actually struggling against them. De Bruyne has been linked to Saudi Arabia, but imagine him in a Bayern shirt, back in the Bundesliga with his former teammate as manager. I personally would love to see that, and I think he'll fit really well alongside Kane and Musiala. So far this season, for me, this is by far the best managerial appointment, and I'll be closely observing Bayern Munich over the summer. There's no way that this team plays at the level they did under Tuchel. I have them win the Bundesliga next season.